All powers to oppressed people, African power to an African people, and definitely, most definitely, Black power. It's your brother Yang and Kruma, man. People's Education Committee coming to you again today. I probably got about an hour, maybe a little bit over that to spend with you. And so I'm just taking this opportunity really to talk our talk, to rap to you. I want to discuss the issues in our particular community, the revolutionary community, the things that affect us directly, the people that adhere to this particular ideology. And I want to take this time to do it because I only do have an hour. So it's not a lot of time. It doesn't have to be long and drawn out. I'm sure there's a lot more entertaining or more sensationalist things to address because this is a serious issue. And so this is a serious time for me. And I think a serious time for us to address the revolutionaries out there um, who adhere to this ideology and philosophy. And why is this important? Because recently there have been, we have people that adhere to our revolutionary ideology and have been proponents of it and champions of Black power. Let's just go on and break it down to the very essence of what we mean by it in the slogan we use to express our ideology. And largely, many of us have taken Black power to be the short expression of a very big desire, ambition, goal, plan, strategy, whatever, and all ever. Black power encompasses this thing. All power to the people. Um, Here it is though. If we're not careful, we can allow people outside this Black power platform to become judge, jury, in a lot of instances, executioner of our ideology, our philosophy, our push for self determination in the way that we believe it can be achieved. They will use pretenses and pretexts to address the people with all sincerity, and maybe they are sincere. It's not for me to question their heart. You understand? I'm just, listen, get mad if you want. I'm a Black nationalist. I believe in us as a people, and I have been commissioned by the universe, by the very authority of my flesh, to be a protector of Black life. It's a mandate. When I was put into this form, and when the dynamics of history had taken place and put me in this social class position based on my ethnicity, my race, my color, the perception of the ruling class people, and when they were given the power to determine the dictates, the terms of my existence in a world that they had created, when my skin complexion condemned me to that fate, it left me with no choice but to embrace the resistance, liberation, understanding. And I found that to be in revolutionary Black nationalism. Like I said, better commonly referred to in one comprehensive slogan as given to us. I understand the truth of it to be said by Baba Mukasa Ricks, but popularized and put out there. The energy put behind it by Kwame Ture, formerly known as Stokely Carmichael. This is what we're talking about. And so, what happens, like any philosophy, any ideology, you're going to have people who profess to hold these tenets. Um, be very human. One thing we understand about revolutionary Black nationalism, our understanding of this concept of national liberation struggle, is that it is obtained, fought for humans. You get it? The very people that are fighting for this freedom are human beings. And what you will have is, if you're not careful, you yourself may carry this complex, this, I call it I don't want to call it a disease. Maybe that's being a little extreme, but I call it is definitely a psychological disorder. What When we have what I call a God or Masonic complex, whether that's accepting one or projecting one. When we accept the Masonic God complex, we are expectant. We expect one magnificent, magnanimous human being to appear before us and to have all of the answers, to part the oppressor and the tyrannical, to usher in liberation. And so that very real need, that misunderstanding of how self determination works, leaves us open to charlatans and to charismatic pimps, to these people who have understand the psyche of black people, the expecting, the wanting, the traumatized, those who have been just beat down and bombarded and given Masonic figure time after time after time and given biblical verses to reinforce you not working for your own self, but giving over your uh, labors. Give me your tired, give me your weary. All of these type of things. We understand that. So we look for this person to come and we look for this person to have all of the answers. And lo and behold, we find out at the end of the day what this was a very real human being. And so when they show us something, uh, human being like a fallacy, a mistake, a fault. Last I checked, I think that was real human like. Then we're just tore to pieces. We can't believe it. Oh, he wasn't what he said he was. Oh, what did he say he was? Some of that is self inflicted, some of that is what we wanted to believe and wanted to embrace. And then you have though that's the projected Masonic complex. Masonic complex. That's projected. You're projecting on someone. Then you have the um, Masonic complex that is that is you. That is intro. We begin to buy into the self hype and the self glorification. We begin to think that somehow we have all the answers, that we possess all of this wisdom, that if other black people don't see it my way, they're not seeing it correctly. Well, sometimes they're the charlatans that I'm speaking of, if we're not careful. I know our intentions may be very sincere. I don't doubt that. Like I said, I'm not a man to question your heart, man. I'm a spiritualist. I do believe in spiritualism. So I attempted to be very careful in stepping into areas or authorities that I personally don't believe belong to me. But one thing I'm a realist at the end of the day. And so everything tangible and material, reserve the right to judge. If it's in this life and it affects me directly, I reserve the right to judge. So I'm not a fool. So some unseen hand or force in nature to me can't give you authority over my life. And I don't think it's realistic to think that people can be unified upon your charismatism. I don't think it's realistic to think people can be or should be unified based on your particular understanding of anything. So this leads us back to where we at. How do we as revolutions critique our people? How do we as revolutionaries begin to warn our people of the dangers? And one of the dangers as true revolutionaries is misrepresenting the revolution. It's one of the true dangers why all types of things could happen to you. I'm just saying. Sometimes there's fanatics in every walk and aspects of life. You have your religious fanatics, and lo and behold, you have your revolutionary fanatics, and you have people who have subscribed and hold true to the understanding of revolutionary ideology, who understand and hold true to national liberation struggle, black liberation movement. Sometimes they can be fanatical when running across misrepresentors. And then me, my personal favorite, I love to inform the people. I believe informed people make informed decisions. And when you inform the people, when you teach the people about self-determinationist philosophy, ways that will empower them, when you show the people how they can eat from their own merits of their hands, how they can produce the fruit, pluck the fruit, and consume the fruit, why these people won't let anyone come back and try to take that fruit from them. And more so, someone that comes in the midst looking like them. I believe they would tear a person like that limb from limb. So this is how we begin to address some of these issues. I'll address some of the, if, like I tell people, I am a Panther alumni, a new Black Panther alumni. To be specific, I am a new Black Panther alumni. So I reserve the right to address, critique, criticize new Black Panther activity as it is portrayed or put in front of the masses. I dare any new Black Panther Party member to tell me I don't reserve that right. No, what I won't do, I won't tell anyone, Dr. Shabazz, Sister Muhammad, anyone under that uses that name, how to run their organization. But as far as how the organization is presented to the masses of people and being an alumni of that, I will speak on it. Why? Because no person owns it. Dr. Malik Zulu Shabazz does not own the new Black Panther Party, albeit he is one of the leaders that has come through, has lent his expertise, his voice, his experience, his blood, sweat, and tears, and even economics behind it, but he does not own it. It didn't start with Dr. Malik Zulu Shabazz, and if the people have any say, I hope it doesn't end with Dr. Malik Zulu Shabazz. It is an institution that was founded by dear brother Aaron Michaels. And we've had prominent, um, progressive, strong Black people to come out of it. The King Samirs, the Shaka Shakurs, and other greats to come out of it. However, personally, you may feel about these individuals, their contributions to Black liberation movement is undeniable. And what has to happen is we have to begin to revolutionaries take control of the narrative. We're allowing people to push the narrative who don't even believe in Black power. How are you snoozing on that? Huh? How are you snoozing on that? Where we believe in liberation through a certain philosophy, and due to your personal hatred, due to your dislike of an individual, though you call yourself a revolutionary, you will sit there and align yourself with people who don't believe in liberation manifested through the same vehicle that you believe. That's because your parties aren't politically educated. Let's talk our talk. Let's talk about it. It's because your particular parties aren't politically educating you. You don't have a party line. You don't have loyalty to the ideology, mere fascination with the human being. That's what we're looking at here. When the ideology, when the philosophy is more important than your personal attachment, we will begin to see some movement. We won't have allowed ourselves to be so open to the critiques and criticisms that translate no more into buffoonery and clownishness. Why you don't get an accurate build from any of that? When your movement and struggle is betrayed to the masses, When your struggle is portrayed, pardon me, to the masses, and it's not put out there by you, you don't know how to, because you can explain the differences between what is taking place, what's being seen from revolutionary action movements, real black liberation movements, to a human being making a mistake or sheer downright niggerism. Whatever it may be, you as a revolutionary have the ability, the power, and the authority, because this is your belief, to make the distinction, to separate between the two. But you guys enjoy too much buffoonery. Jerry Springer. I'm questioning the next wave of Black Panthers, particularly coming in, and revolutionaries generally coming in. Why, it's a mockery in this next formation. The revolutionaries have to tighten up. I've only been on these, what they call YouTube streets, for a moment, and I've heard some of the most outlandish propositions, ideas, thoughts, but I can't even say ideology. I would like to give them enough oomph to be ideologies, to put them on the arena or the platform that I could sit and discuss them and debate them like they were something of substance, like they were actually ideas that we could use to empower us in the black community, but they're not. It's marshmallow. It's fluff. It's sprinkle dust. It's nothing. Yet you and I will come and will be laying down real groundwork in these trenches where the revolution will take place. The revolution is a changing of living conditions first. One of the first pragmatic steps, practical steps of revolution is changing the living conditions. We learned that from the third development pathways. Didn't they address the immediate needs of the people? So while we're out here addressing the immediate needs of the people, what we had been negligent of, what we had turned a blind eye to and hadn't looked at, was the um, advent, the introducing of social media and the propaganda war. See, the revolutionaries too busy with their sleeves rolled up, with what we call boots on the ground. And our information department wasn't the strongest. Missed it by that much. And since our information department wasn't the strongest, the propaganda war began and we fell back. We lost ground. Now you have these people masquerading as answers to solutions or solutions to problems that we possess as black people. You have these people masquerading as sincere when they're only occult leaders. They're nothing new. They're nothing new, but I understand how they're getting away with it. Why? The revolutionary hadn't been paying attention. We hadn't practiced historical materialism, which is introducing the historic factor into the whole goddamn picture. When you introduce the historical factor back in the picture, guess what? None of these Negroes are doing anything new. You begin to recognize a saboteur. You begin to recognize a collaborator. You begin to recognize an agitator. You begin to recognize these people for what they are. They're not doing anything new. That's the only luxury you and I have. The only true weapon you and I have is political education, studying the tactics and the maneuvers. Believe me, they're not creative. They rely on your negligence. They rely on your immorality. They rely on your practicing capitalism in your cultural understanding and your social understanding. And what I mean by that is consumption, consumption, consumption. They rely on your consuming unhealthy foods and your health being bad. So when they shake your ass, you can't last with them 5 minutes. You're huffing and puffing. Newport's then kicked in. The 40-ounce then kicked in. Hmm. I wasn't supposed to say that, huh? Damn, I'm my bad. My bad. I wasn't supposed to say that. We start looking at I'm sorry, man. Y'all had to get. I'm doing a million and one things. Doing a million and one things. So just bear with me for a minute. Did I put the link in here? Let me listen. Let me put the link in there. Anybody want to jump in? We can wrap. This isn't just. I'm just going on a tangent because what ended up happening is what ended up happening is, man, I was sent the video, and I'm not even gonna go through the particulars because I don't get into that. I'm not trying to start no YouTube beef like that. Real shit. I mean, this thing is wow. See, back when I was coming up, that was called some agent shit. I'm sorry. Am I going too far? Y'all stop me in my chat room. Y'all know I'm brand new to this. Y'all know I'm brand new to this. Don't let my mouth get me in no trouble. Because I'm from the era of the real cats. Some of this stuff I'm seeing, we just don't do. So I understand that what they call YouTube streets. Well, apparently, if there's YouTube streets, there must be a YouTube village. And I want to know the rules of the YouTube village. Is there certain things you say or don't say? So, chat, man, rock with me, man. Y'all don't let me get too far. Don't let me make no unnecessary enemies out here. All right, bet. But since a video was given to me, man, of a panther that was being slaughtered. Sister was being, I felt like, slaughtered. I can't dispute the information, man. Receipts were brought. One thing I say about this brother, he don't play. He's gonna bring those receipts. So I can't say anything. So, I had nothing to say about the incident. Here's what I did, what I'm always concerned with, though, as being a black nationalist, one who believes in the fruition of black power. Here's what I was concerned with. I was concerned with how character and ideology was used synonymously. What do I mean by that? At one moment, we would be discussing, or he would be discussing, a flaw in character, and then say, "This is your freedom fighter. This is your revolutionary." And it's a little. I didn't know if to be insulted, if that was a little jab at my ideology and my philosophy, because I know you don't quite believe the way that I do. And it always puts the revolutionary in a vicarious situation. It always puts us in a crazy situation because it puts us in the situation that when we begin to defend our ideology, people who have a problem with the ideology try to make it as if we're defending character. It's a tough sale. It is a tough sale. But we fight the good fight. We fight the good fight without lowering ourselves. We attempt not to lower ourselves to berating and denigrating and adding to the energy of division amongst black people. Why? Because black nationalism fundamental principle is based on solidarity and cohesiveness, unity. So we go through lengths. We go to lengths to avoid conflict, to avoid division. Now, we're not sucker unity. We believe in principled unity. We ain't on that sucker shit. Ain't nobody down for being down just to be down, because then you find yourself down. You dig? So we're not on no sucker shit, but we're not in the business of provoking, of stoking fires and agitating. We're not in the business of, like, you know what I'm saying? We're not picking a fight. However, however, like you said, I have to defend my belief factor. And I'm wondering if the moves you're doing, though like I said, I'm not here to question any sincerity. I understand the very real need to warn your people against anyone you perceive to be a charlatan. That's a very real need. If you love the people, you will warn the people about perceived dangers. Granted, please someone give them a cookie, a biscuit for that move. Like I said, though, to reiterate, however, I question when character is used synonymous with my belief factor. Like, it's at times you like to put, make those statements. Is this your rebel? Is this your freedom fighter? Is this what happening? And that is no longer a shot at the character, but a shot at the vehicle that or the belief system of the sister. And right now, last I checked with the sister, she and I share the same belief. Oh, Yango's advocate. Man, listen, I'm a Black power advocate. You know what I'm saying? I'm a Black power advocate. So I haven't given up on Black power. That's what I'm on here advocating. And I'm telling you, revolutionaries, you can't be scared away from Black power because someone puts up someone you disagree with or they disagree with, whether it be Sister Muhammad, Dr. Malik Zulu Shabazz, Yang and Krumah, King Samir, this person, that person, shit. They're always going to pick one of us out that you don't like and parade us. And until we, as Black revolutionaries, say, hold on, he ain't shit, but he's one of ours. And it is up for us to address this brother, redress the brother, or whatever. And because I can't tell anyone what to say, if you feel the need to expose someone as fraudulent, then we say, as believers in Black power, as believers in revolutionaryism, as Black Panthers and other Black progressive revolutionary organizations, please be clear to make the distinction between character and ideology. Because now I don't know if you're making a shot at Black power. And you have been nothing but a dear brother. I think that you are informative a lot of the times and entertaining a lot of the times. I enjoy the program when someone sends it to me and I have the opportunity to watch. So forgive me if I'm being a little sensitive for my belief factor. There again, let me reiterate, because I know sucker MCs are going to do the mix and the twist on what I'm talking about. I am not advocating peace, Queen Nundy. I am not advocating the character of anyone. What I'm saying is, or I'm not championing, I'm not defending anyone's personal character. What I'm saying is, I am championing and defending Black power. I'm glad Nundy came in because that's a good example. A lot of people, I think, mistake sometimes what she does is coming after. You dig? And it can be perceived that way, especially if you're on the receiving end. But if you're on the end of being protected from someone gobbling you, you're appreciative. If someone is pointing out to you that person and this is that, not only points them out, will go at them to ensure that they can't come at you, that's appreciative. Why? But it's appreciative because it saves you. And secondly, I can accept it because I know this is a person that believes in the fruition of Black power. We may disagree sometimes on how to achieve it. We may disagree on what it looks like. However, the agreement is we know it must be had through a particular vehicle known as revolution. Those are two different things. I'm always leery of people who criticize revolution but don't believe in revolution through a particular theory or practice. I don't know if you reserve the right to criticize my ideology without me defending it. It's almost like the Muslim judging the Christian and the Christian judging the Muslim. I don't know if you reserve the right to criticize my ideology without me kind of cocking an eye and saying, okay, let's behave, buddy. Some of us believe this and we're willing to stand up to the challenges. You see? So, but the only way, let's get back, because I said let's talk. It's our talk. The only way people get away with this, or we allow it to happen, is we don't have loyalty to a belief. We aren't loyal to real revolution as a vehicle to liberation. We scream it, but you listen to many of us are accommodationists, consumer capitalist, everything else, and thinking that because you stamp revolution on it, it makes it a revolutionary theory. It makes it revolutionary ideology. Many of us don't know what revolution is, don't have the faintest clue. We think revolution is depravity, being deprived of something, not having, humdrum, because we've bitten into what's been given us of revolution. Many of us are afraid of revolution based on the images paraded before our very eyes, our freedom fighters captured, our freedom fighters slain, assassinated, murdered in cold blood, some of them in their bed in front of their wives, pregnant wives, in front of their children. So we understand what happens to, they send a very real message to what happens to revolutionaries. So we fall back. And when we fall back, we allow anything to take place. We have to be the ones to address these brothers and sisters. All the while doing it in a manner of showing them it isn't a personal attack. I could care less how your personal life looks. You understand? What we're saying is that if you say that you represent this, if you say that you're coming out in this form of fashion, using this ideology, wearing this armor, this cloak, this button, then you better represent that. Political education is super important. And when we say political, see, here's my problem with that. Because I think when we say political education, we automatically either go to American politics or we start thinking the word education frightens us. The word education frightens us. But education, let me put it this way. Education is just getting your coat pulled. It's being hip on something and knowing how something works now. You educated me on that. You schooled me. You taught me. I know what to look out for. I know how it works. I know how to make it work for my benefit, or I know how it would distract from me. This is education. Political education. What is your politics? Your politics is like Deputy Chair Fred Hampton said of Chicago, Illinois' Third Development Black Panther Party for self-defense. Politics is everything. Everything is politics. So what's your politics? Your politics is how you pay your bills, man. Your politics is how you interact with your woman. Your politics is everything. We should be about the politics of revolutionary black nationalism, liberation politics, politics that'll free us. We have to be vigilant to make sure our politics aren't oppressive. We have to be vigilant to make sure our politics aren't cowardly. And what I'm seeing now are cowardly politics seen manifested through the actions of rogue, wayward revolutionaries. See, we wouldn't get to the point that we have a lot of these problems you see circling through the community, through the revolutionary community, if the comrades within these particular organizations will hold a party line, some party discipline. But your parties have become commercial. That's what you've done. You've sold your parties. And a lot of you don't want to take a hard look at the facts and the truth because a lot of you are wearing your buttons and your patches. I don't care what insignia is on that button or that patch or the various formations and movements out there. I'm talking revolutionary talk. Get mad if you want to. I'm talking to you, fam. It's me. It's your brother. A lot of you don't like this talk because you've purchased your patch, your button, your manual, your paraphernalia. You've purchased it. So the only attachment is a financial attachment. So when when it comes on, when the heat hits the fan, first thing you say, it ain't worth this shit. First thing you holler, it ain't worth it. Because you bought your way into it. I bet it didn't worth it. That $25.99 wasn't worth it, was it? What's the going rate nowadays? I don't know. But I'm sure whatever it was, when the intensity hit, when the action escalated, intensified, you wasn't ready for that pressure. And then we see the videos of these organizations crumbling because of what we're putting out there. They're buying their own hype. Revolutionaries, I'm putting this on you. I am putting this on us because it is up to us to be the example. There's a thing called a revolutionary type. We can't allow this next generation of revolutionaries who are eager and some of them very sincere to step into a revisionist history of not just the Black Panther Party, but the revolutionary struggle for the Black African in America. These Negroes are rewriting our shit, man. They're rewriting it. Generally, our revolutionary struggle in America, generally, they're rewriting that. And specifically, I talk now to you as a Panther, it's being rewritten in the Panther history. Many of you new Black Panther parties don't even know where the Black Panther Party originated or the timelines for certain leadership, that of the Honorable Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad, rahimahullah ta'ala, may Allah have mercy upon him, and the likes, so on and so forth. Whether we agree or disagree with their term as chair people, the likes of Hashim, may God be pleased with Hashim, or give Hashim his reward. I don't care how you personally felt about him. There is an order to how that thing was run. And if you allow people to revise history, what you get is so watered down and milk toast that it won't be effective even for you. It wouldn't even be worth mentioning that you belong to, that you are part of it. And the things that I see going through the Facebook, the disgruntlement, the anger, the exploitation, the abuse, all of the foolishness going on, not just in the parties, but throughout the revolutionary movement. You wonder how it has come to such a pitch. You wonder how this type of foolishness and folly has been able to masquerade itself as real revolutionary doctrine for so long that it is translated into actions that are that destructive that people are running from it and making lives about it. It is so destructive that people don't even feel like that they can find solutions within their party. They don't even believe in the mechanisms, in the judicial mechanism, in the justice mechanism in their own parties, and they resort to base gossip and slander as if they had never any or no revolutionary training, displaying no discipline. Why? I'm a former member. I'm sure I had my personal experiences that I could have been disgruntled with, but I had taken a conscious oath to be a Panther. And before I decided that it was time for me to exit that particular formation, I tried within the formation for reform. The only time that I am a political reformist, the only time that I will fight to reform politics is within my organization. So I became a new Black Panther Party political reformist. Unfortunately, my side didn't win. But I appreciate the experience of the process and self-governing and self-determination. If nothing, I got a lesson in that. We attempted. And I still applaud and salute those people in those formations who believe in liberation and believe that they can find and fight for liberation within that organization. I personally may not, but if they find it, great. I have a problem with the abuse and the exploitation of these young. And when I say young, I'm not necessarily speaking age. I'm talking about experience, exposure, participation in their self-determination. That's what I mean by young. Let's say newer brothers and sisters in the movement who are being abused because of their zest and their zeal, their love for the people. They are being absolutely abused, and it is hard to watch cry after cry, plea after plea for anyone to stand up and not rescue them, but stand up and they're like, look, we have a pariah, we have problems. Masquerading as revolutionaries. Ernesto Che Guevara used to line you up and shoot you. I'm just telling you what they did in the Cuban Revolution. That's what I read. That's what I read. Che would line you up and shoot you if you practice banditry, if you were a robber of the people, a raper of the people, an exploiter of the people. Why? The manual teaches you. Huh? Come on. You should not take a piece of needle or thread from the masses. I'm done. Bam. And the robbery we see being perpetrated and committed. And I'm not just talking about economic robbery. The worst type of robbery is being committed by these pseudo revolutionaries that we as true revolutionaries haven't stepped up and said, hey, man, enough is enough. Stop or be stopped. The true robbery is security. The true robbery is security. I'm not a gambling man. Anybody who knows me knows I don't gamble. I'm a sore loser. I like to be with the sure thing, you know. But I would be willing to gamble this, that if you ask anyone who felt robbed or taken advantage of in the black community by a so-called revolutionary organization, I would say pseudos, pretends, phonies, pretending to be revolutionary or in a revolutionary organization, what was worse, the money or the sense of security? The thinking and believing that finally, especially if you lived in one of these neighborhoods that are impoverished, one of these neighborhoods that are under severe occupation by the state, when you constantly see the military wing of the state, the oppressive wing of the state, armed wing of the state, we call in the hood the pigs, the police. When you see these suckers riding around, these people, this type of conditioned community, and finally you're thinking, you're believing that a revolutionary movement, a liberating, loving people, freedom fighters have arrived on the scene, and you're cheering their arrival only to find out that they are further your exploiters. Now you're between a rock and a hard place. You got people professing that they're fighting for you, and you're throwing time and money and energy into these movements, hoping that something will come only to find yourself used, abused, men and women, to the maximum potential of your blackness. What does that mean? Maximum potential of my blackness till you get to the point you be like, fuck this black shit. Give me the 20. Are we rapping? I'm doing too much. I'm doing too much. I know it. But I gotta talk to you. I only got a couple more minutes, man. I said I was gonna do the hour thing. And that's exactly what I'm gonna do. Yeah. They push you to the maximum potential of your blackness, to the point where you say, fuck this black shit. That is a crime. The revolutionary should know that that is a crime. When does the revolutionary begin to address that? When do we begin to show them, not just the people contrary, because we have to show the people that that isn't revolution, but we begin to have serious talk. Man, I had a talk with a brother today I thought was a great one. And he reiterated a lot of things that I hadn't, I'm not going to say didn't know. What I'm going to say the brother did was bring back. And I was like, oh, why haven't I? Why didn't I? This is a good question. Great point. He re-energized me. In fact, the brother had given me purpose and intention again on a particular subject and issue that I probably am going to look into. At least I'm going to contemplate. And I'll share it with you guys one day when I'm done with my great old man contemplating. I'll share it with you. But it's real. It's real. And I will share a piece of it, what it made me know that needed to be done as a revolutionary was to step up, to be more vocal, to be more visible. as a true revolutionary, to act as the revolutionary type. And I'm encouraging you, telling you out here listening in the chat, step up. If you are on a revolutionary ideology, if you do practice the revolutionary way of life, if you are a freedom fighter, step up. Step up. You say, what's the revolutionary type? You know what a revolutionary type. It isn't hard. You look at the revolutionaries who preceded us, and then you look at what brought them down and don't do that. It's that it's that simple. And what we hope in this process of evolution is that the next generation, my children, will look at me and the good that I've taken from former revolutionaries and the bad that I have tried to negate and leave out of my life and sidestep, that they will try to sidestep. And the bad that I did have in my life, they will look at and say, hey, let me leave that part out. And eventually, we get to a point where this revolutionary type is evolved, this new African type is evolved. Historical materialism. We look at what preceded us. But it takes, with like anything evolving, any germ or organism or however the evolution is, I need my scientists on here to break it down. We fight that which isn't productive. We fight that which isn't productive any way that we have to fight. As black nationalists, as revolutionary black nationalists, as ones who believe in unity and solidarity, we first begin that fight as an ideological debate. When I say fight, like argument, we begin that fight as an ideological debate. We sit with our brothers, our sisters, we find out where we differ at if we're discussing revolutionary understanding, attempting freedom fighting, and this is where it starts. And then from there, we find out what is destructive and what is not. And we see who's willing to end the destructive behavior in their practices. This is how we find out who's on the team. We say that's a destructive behavior to the community. How you know it's a destructive behavior to the community? How you? Because the community is saying it's destructive to them. We never should forget who the fight is for. The people. Who are the people? We are the people. I think we forget that. What happens a lot of times, what I see in our revolutionary understanding and our getting out there trying to teach revolution, we become very elitist. The people, and I'm hollering the people, the people. I'm like, yeah, the people. But when you're hollering the people, you're hollering about separate entities. I begin to notice that the people. No, you're not one of the people. You're not one of the people. So we start to see this elitism come in. And from elite, we understand where elitism comes from. Elitism comes from classism. Then we go to, where does classism come from? This is why our political studies is important. You have to understand that the white man is just not sufficient. It is sufficient as it's, to me, it's a slogan like Black Power. Black Power doesn't explain my strategy, the core principles of my ideology, or the specifics of my ideology. Rather, should I say, it is the core principle, Black Power, but the specifics of my ideology. It is a slogan that best sums up what I want to see accomplish, achieve, to govern my life. Black Power. So the white man, when I say that, is just as um, sloganish, symbolic as the Black Power. It is, to me, the embodiment contemporarily, historically, of what the fuck went wrong with the world. That's what that is. I don't necessarily think Joe Blow Caucasian is the specific enemy. It is the system of white male supremacy. And I know that that system is upheld by a thing called capitalism. And I know that capitalism is enforced by a thing called the state. And I know the state encourages and produces, the way that the capitalist state runs, classism. And I know that classism goes to elitism. It's the simple breakdown. So when you find a black revolutionary practicing this elitism, separating the people from themselves or any type, you have to begin to wonder, what type of ideology do they follow? Listen, brothers and sisters, that's all you got to do. Let people talk. They hang themselves. And not so much even hanging. I shouldn't even got that dirty with it. It ain't even about them hanging themselves. You will see where there may be a deficiency in their ideology, and what you do as a revolutionary, you should try to uh, correct your brother. Like, brother, that's awfully capitalist. Elitism is capitalism. Our sister, elitism is capitalism, which is classism. That I don't want all that stuff, this and that, yada yada. What you gonna do with your broke self? Can't do nothing broke. Can't, and you can't disagree with them. You're right. I say, brother, you're right. But here's the problem. You're in the wrong camp, nigga. You need to be in the reformist capitalist camp, nigga. You over here masquerading as we the people, champion of the people, pushing petty bourgeoisie, nigga, capitalism. So I'm not mad at your ideology. I'm mad that you're over here masquerading as one of us, sucker. That's what I'm mad about. So we have to get it clear. It ain't no hating on the person. You're free to believe how you want to believe. You're free to advance black people how you want to advance people. You're free to contribute what ideological practices you want to contribute. Just name that shit right. I don't eat pork. Don't give me something talking about it's turkey and it's a big piece of pig. And that's what you're doing. You're offering the masses pork. Any revolutionary who doesn't hold to this ideology, that's what I'm talking to. You're offering the masses pork, disguising it as something other than. And all we're saying is state what you are. That's all we're saying. All we're saying is state uh, what you are. Make it plain. It's a time for the end of the deception, misleading the people. And we, the revolutionaries, have to be responsible for that. We have to begin to take over these airwaves. Platforms like my sister Nundy, man, over at sister Nundy 3GP, Queen Nundy the camp. Come on, I advise people to go over there too, man, to get that's where you're gonna get battle tested. As black nationalists, it is a great ground to go get tested. You must know your ideology, your theory, your philosophy, your everything, and be able to defend it. And once you do that, I'm willing to guarantee once you do that, once you put in the work of learning your ideology, studying your revolutionary history, and not just studying, participating. See, it's one thing for us to be on here sharing, and I do that. That's cool. Peace, West Side. That's cool. We get on here and we share like that. But revolution is about real participation. If you don't have boots on the ground somewhere, if you're not actively with the group out there participating, then you at the very least should be contributing. You should be contributing. If you can't find the time, if you don't possess the stomach or whatever the reason, you're not out there, then you should contribute. I get boots on the ground and economically contribute. That's how we get out. It's more than just talking. But the revolutionary is fighting such a ferocious fight, and the fight is so fucking real for advancement of our people and liberation that yes, we wasn't afforded the time to, or we hadn't cultivated an information department strong enough to combat the bull stuff being perpetrated on YouTube or being presented to you, brothers and sisters. I apologize, man. I apologize to my real revolutionaries out there. You ain't gonna apologize, man. You know what I'm saying? I snoozed on it. And now you're getting trash. You're getting absolute trash. And I snoozed on it for the revolutionaries. I apologize for not only are they getting trash, man, I apologize for not being a champion for us. So now we're getting drugged by people who don't even believe in the fruition of black power the way we do. I need you, fam. I need you. We got to come together. Shit is real. It's real. Listen, I got 5 minutes, man. I've been, running it down. And I appreciate it. I appreciate everybody riding with because I had to talk to the family. Hey, goddess, peace, African goddess. I'm not on. I usually do 2 devices to get in here, so I don't have my other one, so I can't get in the chat, man. But peace, man. This is what's up. I'm glad that them soldiers fell through to check me out. I don't, and I appreciate that. Like I said, because I don't right now like that major excitement. But I appreciate y'all falling through to hear what I had to say because I had to dress us as family. I know most of you out here falling through like this on family. Y'all believe in the fruition of Black power. Y'all believe in Black excellence, Black progression, the power of self. And I know we get out here and take a beating from these suckers, not just intentional enemies, open and clear enemies, straight combatants of what they like to call pro-Black. These pro-Black. I don't even know, do they know what that means? But what they like to call these pro-Blacks, I know we get beat up by them. These straight people who are straight enemies. Then we have to turn around and fight against uh the misrepresentation of Black power, Black liberation. Then we have to turn around and fight against that. So I appreciate you. Keep your head up. Believe me, it's not for naught. We have protracted struggle. Queen said one time on her program, I loved it. She quoted Asada on them when they was asking her about the revolutionary movement. They was asking Nundy about the Panthers and the revolutionary movement. Queen quoted Asada on them. She said, we told us Panthers that in the ghetto, a Panther's born every minute. And that's what we taught. So I'm doing my part to impregnate the Black population with the Panther mentality. I hope this seed goes out there. Not just the Panther mentality, but the Black power mentality, Black revolutionary nationalism, Black excellence, Black progression. I'm impregnating the Black community with that seed. I want to see what that blossoms and brings. I know it's no stopping us, fam. We just have to begin to strengthen our circle. And the first way we strengthen our circle is by tightening our circle. 2022, sucker free for the Black movement. I need you know what? I'm gonna come up with a emblem, a lollipop. Somebody create me an emblem, a lollipop in the Ghostbuster symbol. 2022, man. We coming up, we sucker free. The Black movement is sucker free. We taking over People's Education Committee, open to all progressive Black nationalists who down with making a change and putting out the true and proper information to dispel and combat the information that we're worthless or we're inherently evil or that it's cool to abort us in the womb or that it's better to date outside of us or that we are worthless and lazy and shiftless, that we're cowardly. We're combating all of that and we're bringing facts, actual factuals. We're going to bring you historical. I'm working on getting me a camera right now so I can store it. I'm working with my counsel, the sister, and everybody to figure out a way that I'm about to get the camera, to get my camera out here though, to figure out a way to show you what we're doing without exploiting my people. I am not with exploiting my people. And I don't want to show you to prove shit to you. If I have to prove something to you, you're not riding with me, man. I need my people who believe like I believe so we can do together. I'm a communalist. I'm not your leader. I'm your boy. You feel me? I'm not your leader. I'm your partner. I play my position, play your position, and we can get something done. So I'm gonna get the camera so I can get out here and we can show you what's being done. I have to find a way to do it that so that I don't exploit my people, man. I swear, one of the things, and it breaks my heart. And I want, and this, as nationalists, I do this. I'm encouraging you to do this too if you feel the same way. And you're cool with people in these formations. Start with people you're cool with. If you feel like I do. Listen, brothers and sisters, when y'all feeding them people, man, stop throwing their faces all up on that stuff, man. It reminds me of Sally Struthers in Africa with the flies in the people's eyes and shit like that. It is so, and that's only my opinion. I can't make the policies in your party. I'm just saying, from a brother, man. I'm like, man, that is just so hard. Here a person is down and out at their last, and you shoving a camera in their face while you giving them a damn sandwich all about say black power and smile. What the fuck is there to smile about? Where's the black power? If there was real black power, wouldn't be under this damn bridge eating a cold ass sandwich. Say that shit. Let us begin the programs of healing and bringing them out of that condition. But I'm gonna bring a camera because not to prove anything to you guys, but to show you that we are out here. It is to inspire you guys that there are people out here actually doing this. Yo, shouts out to that everybody that donates. Since I've been on here, I appreciate the donations I have. People have actually shown me love. I didn't know that we really did. You know, there was some people that cared about Black Power. Nandy, put yours up, please. Same organization, same thing. I was surprised that people was like, I was like, damn, this is all right. None of people do, because I thought YouTube was just a bunch of hot air. I thought everyone was on here was just talking. So to find out that people cared and wanted to see changes in the community and supported and sponsored people who said, fuck it, I'll get out there and do it. I'll be amongst the smell. Don't bother me that much. I'll get out here in these streets with these thugs or whatever, whatever. It's cool. So to find people to say, yo, I'll support you in your endeavor to do that, I appreciate y'all, man. Much love. Look, I didn't hit my hour. I don't know if the Queen's gonna go live, but if she does check out, go to her page. You see it up there, Sister Nundy 3GP. I want to shout out everybody, man. Check out my man Lex at High Elevation. He be dropping that science. I know I'm forgetting somebody and I'm dead ass wrong, but just every right now he popped in my head, man, because he really be dropping. Definitely shouts out to SVDL, Coldest League out there to me. If not, soon to be on its way. Shout out to its commissioner, Solomon, man. That's what's cracking, brother. I can appreciate his vision, how that was doing. Observation and participation. That's right, Koran. And just everybody, man, out there. Check these platforms out there that are about progressive black activity, black life, and black movement. Support them, share their stuff, subscribe and hit like. We are all we got. We have to begin to become a force in the social media to combat what is already out there. And I'm not going to play with you. It is no small feat. It is no small feat. But if you rocking, we got the platform. People's Education Committee. Straight black education, progressive education, positive education, powerful education for the people, man. With that, I'm going to leave you like I greeted you. And that's all powers to oppressed people, African power to an African people, and black power.